Hello, welcome to Lokalama YouTube channel. I'm Natasha and I will be your host today. I'm also known on Instagram as Lokalama00 or on Ravelry as Lokalama. I'm very excited about this video because it's a podcast where I talk about everything that happened in my knitting life in April. And those videos always bring me a special joy because after these videos I can wear and use all my knitted objects that I finished this month. Also, what makes me happy is I live in Canada, Manitoba. Also, it makes me happy that that news that our quarantine may be over soon. I don't think our schools will be open this year, but still, like more stores and more people will go to work, and life will slowly get back to normal again. And second thing that makes me really happy this month, it's like because spring is actually here in Manitoba, because we had for the longest time we had snow, and when it was almost melting we had new snow coming, snowfalls and different storms, and it wasn't fun. Like we got tired of the snow this winter because it was more than 6 months of snow, so it was quite a bit. But also it wasn't a lot of snow that we had to clear our driveway or anything like that. It was like very small amount, but it was stable, like there was always snow. And now last week or a little bit, week and a half, we have plus temperatures, which makes me very happy. In the places where we cut grass, like you can see a small tiny bitsy green grass coming out. Also, we don't have leaves on the trees yet, but some trees like maple trees that are supposed to bloom before they have leaves, they started to bloom already, and that's make me really happy because I'm kind of more a summer person. Like I like snow, but I also enjoy summer because I can take my 3 younger kids outside and they can play in a sandbox and I can knit by the sandbox, and it like when you can go outside, it makes a quarantine much it makes days shorter, I would say this way. And I also would like to thank you, all of you, to the warmest reception of my tutorial about face mask. I was blown away by the amount of you watching it and knitting face masks, and I also wrote a pattern, and I was trying to publish it on Ravelry, but actually due to some reasons you're not allowed to publish face mask pattern on Ravelry right now, but I published it in my Etsy shop, so that's where you can buy it, or loveknitting.com. So those two places I was allowed to publish this pattern because I think pattern it's much better than just like I was also knitting a lot of face masks for my Etsy store, but I think pattern is much better. Like if you cannot follow video tutorial and you prefer written copy, so it's just so much better, because if you know how to knit, you can take it and knit it and you have it already. Because some of my customers, they had to wait for a long time for masks to arrive because our mail services don't work as fast as they used to work, because less people, fewer people working, fewer trucks delivering packages and stuff like that. So it takes almost twice or 3 times longer to get your product. So thank you very much for a warm welcome of that pattern. And this month I thought that I wouldn't be able to show you any finished objects because I was knitting, like in the beginning, end of March and beginning of April, I was knitting on masks, so I didn't feel like I didn't have time to knit my own stuff. But when I finished knitting masks, I didn't feel like knitting my own stuff because I was kind of tired and exhausted after knitting. But I had some new yarn inquiries that inspired me to start knitting again. So I left alone millions of my VIPs in a box, and I didn't touch them, and I just decided to knit whatever I feel like. So I got one of my new yarn inquiries were this yarn, Cascade yarns, and it's lawn wood. It's 100% superwash extra fine merino wool, and balls come in 100 grams balls, and it's 191 yards. And they recommend needles 4.5 or 5 millimeters. It's US 7/8. So I had 400 grams of this beautiful yarn, and this color is 14 maroon. And so when this yarn arrived, like, it was so soft, and it's very nicely twisted yarn from 8 tiny strands, and it makes it so squishy and so soft and so beautiful. And I decided that I want to knit a cardigan for myself. I wanted to knit like kind of summery cardigan with long sleeves, but kind of more open up front, and also it was supposed to be cropped. So that's what I did. Like, it's pretty cropped, as you can see. Back is covered, front is open. It has 2 buttons on the bottom. Like, you can wear it with buttons or buttoned up, or just like kind of hanging down, floating down. And I didn't do raglan this time. I did this, started on the shoulders, started to knit bags, and picked up stitches, started to knit front, and here I have a small kind of small section of square pattern. And after I was done up to here somewhere, I cast on sleeves, and I made sleeves first, and then the rest of the yarn I just knitted down, and I was doing increases here just to create this shape, a rectangular shape, so that I would just button it up just a little bit on the bottom, just if wind is blowing or whatever, so it would just stay closed, like wouldn't fly open away. So I think it's really nice for summer, kind of like you would wear a shawl. It covers more back and your hands, but up front it's kind of open. So that was kind of idea behind this comfy cardigan. So I'm very happy with the result I got, and I'll wear it and see how I like this yarn, because I never used this yarn before. And it was also a very quick knit, because I used 5mm needles, so I think it's US 8. And so I was done with this cardigan in one week. So for me it was very quick knit. And also I can show you another finished object. As you remember maybe from previous episodes, I was knitting for myself socks. This yarn is Dye for Eve. It's a local dyer. She lives in Manitoba, and she dyes this beautiful self-striping yarn, and I will leave you a link to her Instagram page. I'm sure she has Etsy shop, maybe not, I don't know, but if you go to her Instagram page, then for sure you can contact her and get her yarn if you like it. And also, while I was knitting these socks, I made a tutorial how to knit after sewed heel, and I think it's on my channel already. So, and they are folded. Usually I wear them like long, but just my sock blockers they're too short. Yeah. So, and I had leftover yarn, like you can probably guess already, and my son, he really wanted socks. Like, he's 5 years old, and he wanted socks that would be exactly matching to mine. So, but for him I chose contrasting heel, only because I wanted to knit it for the waist, and I didn't want to do after sewed heel, and I knew that I would have enough yarn to make socks with same heels as mine. But I just thought it would be more cute for a 5-year-old boy to have those cute yellow heels. So yarn is really nice, as you can see. My sock and these new socks, like colors are the same, but mine I was wearing already for, I don't know when I finished them, in February, I think end of February, but I washed them many times, and the yarn dyer, she recommends to wash them by hand in a cold water, but I wash them actually in a washing machine in warm water with all my other clothes and they're perfectly fine. So as you can see, new, and the one that was washed already for a while. So I'm very happy, and now after this video he can finally wear them. I tried them on, but I didn't let him wear them because I wanted to show them to you first. And also, after finishing 2 pairs of socks, I had a very small piece left, a small ball of yarn left, and I decided to knit my first ever square for memory blanket. Look how cute. Oh, it looks so beautiful with all these color stripings. So for the longest time I watched people knitting these blankets and memory blankets, and I wanted to knit one, but then I never started actually knitting it because I like this idea to use leftover yarns, and also a really good idea, like for example this square will bring me a really good memories of like how I went to Manitoba Fiber Festival and how I chose this self-striping yarn from local hand-dyed dyer, and it would be like a really good memory even when my socks will be very old. So I'll still have the square in my blanket, but I didn't like this busy look of so many colors, so that's why it was stopping me from starting this blanket. But then a friend of mine advised me one podcast that I started to watch. It's Anna Knitter, and she lives in Australia, and she is making this blanket, but I think it's Stitch in Time blanket called, where you have squares like 5 little squares, 5 by 5, and it creates like a bigger square, and then you do how many big squares you want, and you can dedicate them to different memories or parts of your life. So, and I decided to make blankets that will have 12 squares for 12 months of the year, and I just printed out a piece of paper where I have 12 squares, like it would be 3 squares and 4 rows, and I just kind of shaded, kind of colored different colors which I want to be mostly for that month. Like for example, for December I'll have all Christmas colors, and for January, for example, I will have a light blue, light gray, white, sparkly, or whatever colors like that. And then in between those bigger squares, where inside would be 25 little ones, you knit a border, and this border will be not only around this big blanket, but it would be like divide this blanket into sections, and that looks so much better to me, and I liked it so much more, and that's what pushed me to knit my first square. So I don't know exactly to which months I will dedicate it, but probably where I have browns or orange or to blue. We'll see, because even though like one square would be, for example, more orangey or other one would be more green, still there would be mixed colors, like if you use self-striping yarn or stuff like that, but most of the colors would be like blue, for example. Okay, and so that blanket will take a while for me to knit because I don't have that many sock yarn leftovers, because I just recently started to knit socks, so I don't have that many leftovers, but I'm sure I can participate in mini swaps and other things that I can do. Also, I was gifted some minis, sock yarn minis last year around Christmas from 2 or 3 different people through Instagram. So maybe I'll participate in swaps or giveaways, like something like that, like where you can request yarn, and I will be slowly working on my blanket, and I'll share my progress with you. I'll see. So this yarn is completely gone, knitted up. This yarn is completely gone because I knitted it like to zero. I had like small bitsy piece left. That's what I like to do with yarn. So this month I would say I knitted up only 430 grams. Like, I'm not counting yarn that I was knitting for store or for my Etsy shop or anything like that. I'm just counting yarn what I was knitting for myself, like, yeah, for garments or whatever. Now I would like slowly shift to my VIPs because I have a lot of them. Like I said, I put aside my projects that I had on the needles for a while, and I just started to work on socks for my son, on this cardigan, and later on, only this last week that I started to knit on my projects that I had before. So I'll start with a newer project, because when I cast on this cardigan, it was like big. It was needles number 5mm needles, and it was really nice quick knit because I was knitting on chiagu, and if you have chiagu needles, you know how fast your knitting goes. But also on the other side, I wanted to have something slow going, and I bought this beautiful yarn. It's really nice, beautiful colorway, because it's not like it's heathery and it has different blues in it. Like, it's not just one solid color, and it's a little bricks little called, and this yarn is 80% wool and 20 nylon, and it has in 113 grams, it has 196 meters, so it's quite chunky yarn. I'm not sure is it worsted weight or how it's called. And this colorway called Greystone. It's raised and made in Canada and New Brunswick, and I was able to buy it like not online but just offline store, which made me very happy because most of my yarns comes from online stores, but sometimes I can buy it from store. I like it that way more, but I just don't have stores close by. And I decided to knit these socks, and I was knitting on my Knit Picks hardwood needles. I love them very much. I just bought one pair and a cord just to try them. I have radiant wood, those colorful ones, mosaic ones. I love them very much, but I wanted to try these ones and I like them even more. So I wanted to work with rustic yarn on wooden needles, and it brings to me enormous pleasure to work on it. If you are tired of regular knitting on stainless steel needles, try rustic yarn and these wooden needles. Like, it just it feels really great. And I'm trying new heel for this sock, so I tried it twice already and it didn't work, and I opened it up. So I'll try third time. Like, never give up, right? Just try to work on it again. And yeah, and my another newest project that I just started this week on Monday. So it was end of April when I started it. I have this gorgeous yarn that I was showing you before. It's Italian yarn, and it's 80% silk and 10% viscose, or 20% viscose, and it's Italian stock, and it has in 100 grams it has 1450 meters. So it's very fine, yeah, like very. And I saw this technique, like where you knit from the ball, and you knit like using three strands with the waist. So you kind of do like loop, so it gives you 3 strands of yarn, and then if you put your hand into the loop and you catch this yarn, you just pull it through, and then it gives you strand with 3 plies. So, and you knit it up, and then again when you come to the end, you again just pull through yarn and it gives you again. So that way you don't need to unwind and have 3 balls in your basket, and you won't have ends, like, because you're just knitting from the whole, from the one strand all the time. And if you unwind it in 3 balls, you don't know how long your ball, like how many yards you should have, right? So that's what I've been doing. When I saw this method, I wasn't sure that it's so convenient to knit like that, but actually it is very convenient. I like it very much, and I really enjoy it to knit this way. And I'm knitting myself a summer top. I don't know if it would be spaghetti straps or it would be with small sleeve, how it would look on top, like around neckline. I didn't decide it yet. So I'm knitting top down, up, and I'm using this pattern, beautiful, like it's just like a zigzag goes. It's really nice, and it creates such a nice, beautiful fabric. Like, and I'm using 3.5mm needles, and I thought I would just do like just a small border with this pattern, and then I would continue knitting in stockinette stitch. But now I don't know, maybe I'll just do whole garment in this beautiful pattern, because it looks really, really nice. We'll see. So I just knit as I go, and yeah, this yarn is so pleasant to work with. Like, I really, really enjoy this project. And my next project, what I'm working on, this yarn I also bought at Manitoba Fiber Festival. So at the time I just bought 3 types of yarn. I'll just take a sip of water. I bought self-striping yarn. I bought this Mohair Tweed from Wool Gallery. I'll leave you a link to those shops like underneath my video. And it's Mohair Tweed, and it has 100 grams, 437 yards. It's 7% merino and 30% kid mohair. And I am knitting a raglan top-down sweater. It's a raglan, and it will have V-shaped neck, and that's how much I knitted already on it. I'm using 4.5mm needles, and this yarn is amazing because it blooms after washing. So now it's just like this, and I'm using for raglan, I use this, yeah, this holy raglan increases. Yeah, it's a very, very beautiful color. I love it very, very much. And then it will bloom, and it won't be see-through at all here. So I'm working on this, and also I'm still working on my Annabelle Williams socks from her yarn that I showed you in the last video. Beautiful. And this colorway is called Green Grass, and it's 100% Romney wool, and it's in 100 grams. There are 330 meters. It's a really beautiful yarn, really beautiful colorway. Like, I love this color very much, and very beautiful design. And this design is available for free on Ravelry. You can go and download it if you like. It's very nice design, and it fits really nice on my foot. And now I'm just up to the point where I do increases for the heel. So that's how it looks on the back. And so I love it very much. So that's my project. And one last project that I'm working on, I'm working in this Knit Picks merino fingering merino nylon yarn. It's 50-gram balls, and it's machine washable, and very, very beautiful color. It's not as bright as you see it on the screens. I finished the back of my sweater, and now I'm working on the front of my sweater because I decided, like, pattern calls to knit the sweater in a round, bottom up. But I decided to knit it separately because I just wanted projects that I can sew together, where I can knit back and forth. And here in the middle it has this beautiful pattern. Looks from the back. And here just stockinette stitch. So very nice. I like it, but I don't like these needles that I have, because I was knitting it on wooden needles, but now I took them because I wanted to knit socks for my daughter. So I put here different needles, which I don't like. So this project doesn't move as quickly as I would like to. So that's all my VIPs. So I have one more. I'm still working on this sweater that is called Sylvia Sweater by Sari Nordland, and she's on a picture, and it's like cable sweater, and I'm knitting it in an ice yarn. I think it's made in Turkey. It has alpaca, viscose, wool, acrylic, lurex. Really nice yarn. I don't know if they still sell it or not, because I bought it 2 or 3 years ago, and I showed you already this beautiful gorgeous cable sweaters that I'm working on. It's growing, and now I have like up to this point. That's front, and now I'm working on the back, and here shaping for sleeves. And yeah, so this much, but since we last spoke it's much longer. So I'm really looking forward to wear it, and I think I will love it and enjoy it very much. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects on my needles right now, and it's normal for me because I always like to have big variety of projects on my needles. That's the type of person I am. And now I would like to show you what I bought this last month, because I bought quite a bit of yarn, and I think it's because of the quarantine. I was sitting at home and I was browsing online, except this yarn and blue one and this yarn. It's same company from Canada who makes this yarn, Briggs and Little. And this type of yarn, it's a heritage yarn called Heritage, and it's 100% wool. Really nice color. So from this yarn I'll make same like really warm socks for my oldest daughter. And also I bought 8 skeins of this off-white color, and also this color called Fawn. It's not gray and it's not brown, it's something in between. Really nice color, I love it. So, and you see on the back there a few more skeins. So altogether I have 2 white and 6 fawn colors. And I would like to knit Afghan on needles, like recommended needles number 5, and I would like to knit on needles number 5 some kind of Afghan that I wanna give to someone, and it would be for one person just to cover up. And this yarn is so nice and fluffy, like it has 2 ply, so it's not twisted really tightly, like it's nice and light and fluffy. And I think it would be really good for Afghan, but it's not super wash, so that's the only concern. But you don't wash it very often, right? Afghans, they just stay on your couch for a long time and you use them. So we'll see how it turns out. If it turns out really well, then it would be a gift. If it doesn't turn out very well, then I'll use it myself. Okay, and next yarn that I bought, it's Opal. It's cotton premium. So this yarn has wool, cotton, and polyester, I think, or nylon, polyamide. But it has very cottony feel to it, and it's sock yarn. And I wanted to try it for the longest time, but I couldn't find where to buy it. And my friend via Knitting Podcast, Warm Wool Gallery, she made her husband's socks out of this color. and they looked so nice, and I touched them and I saw them like they're really nice, and she says that he wears them the most out of his hand knitted socks. So, and how would you so I want to knit my husband's socks like this. It's really nice color. And how would you check yarn if it's good or not? So you need to knit pair for yourself. So I got this color for myself and this color for my husband, but I'm sure from this purple I can get 2 pairs of socks, so maybe my daughter will get 1 pair. So this color is, oh, it doesn't have name, so it has, this color is 9844 and this one 9847. Very nice yarn. After I knit these 2 pairs, I'll decide, maybe I'll knit more socks out of this yarn. And next yarn, I got this guy. And you see over there, I have 3 more. So I bought all together 4 skeins of yarn. So it gives me almost 480 grams of yarn, and each skein has 280 yards, and it's BFL, and colorway is Lemon Drop, and it's by Olive Park Yarns. Here's her card. You know, when you buy from the indie dyer, you always get this cards with personal note in it, and it feels so good. So Olive Park Yarns, and it's interesting, I saw their shop on Instagram and I fell in love in this color, so I wanted to go and get right away. I went to check if they have enough sweater quantity of this color, and they did, so I quickly grabbed them all. They have Etsy shop too. I'll leave a link below my video to their shop. And then I found out that they live only half an hour away from me, from in a small town, half an hour away, but still I ordered it online and it got to me like in 2 days. And from this I would like to make a cardigan for myself. It's a really nice squishy yarn, and color is absolutely gorgeous. So I'll see, knit from this yarn, who knows, maybe I'll order more from this indie dyer, but color is really nice. And then I bought this yarn. I was really dreaming about, from this yarn I showed you, I knitted a small vest for my 7-month-old daughter, and I fell in love absolutely. Like, I saw this yarn in Warm Wool Gallery store and I touched it at the Fiber Festival, but I never thought that the result after washing would be so incredible. So she gifted 1 ball of this yarn to my little daughter, that I would knit something for her. So I knitted and I washed it. And after washing, this yarn bloomed so nicely. It's so soft and so warm. And she was wearing it for 2 months already, you know, and she's like drooling on it. And I would wrap her up in a blanket and she would sleep in this vest and walk in this vest and sit and go somewhere, like, you know, car seat straps, and nothing happens to this yarn. Like, I expected it to felt, I expected to have like those balls all over it. No, nothing happened to it. So I really wanted to knit sweater, and you can't imagine how soft it is. It's not even baby yak, it's just yak. It's 3 plies, Mongolian yak, and sarlag. So I went to her website and I checked, and she just had 4 of those guys left, and I think maybe I need 5 for a sweater for myself. So I got gray one for my little daughter, so in case I need to take her vest and use it for my sweater, so I'll knit her gray hat, because my idea was to knit her vest, and after she grows out of it, I would knit her hat out of that yarn. So I can just knit, instead of brown, I can knit her gray hat. But gray yak, it's a little bit different. It's 50 grams but 140 meters, and brown one has 200 meters. But for hat it's even better. So I got 1 of them to knit hat for my husband, and 1 to knit hat for my baby girl. She has big head, so she might use a lot of yarn for it. So I would like to knit probably machete sweater out of this yak. We'll see. I really think I'll enjoy wearing that yak sweater because it's so light and fluffy and soft. It's incredible. If you have chance sometimes to try yak, especially Sarlacc yak, you should try it. I don't know if she has still some in her store, but I know that she will have more soon. So I'm sure you can go try it because it's like when you just hold the ball, it's one thing, but if you knit it and wash it, like after washing, it just incredibly different yarn, because some yarns they feel same before washing and after washing. Oh, maybe superwash yarns they're same, but the ones that are not superwash, maybe they're different. I don't know. I'm not such a big expert in it yet. So that's about it that I wanted to share with you today. I'm very happy for spring that arrived. I'm very happy because I think our quarantine will be over soon, but I don't think schools will be opened, and my oldest daughter was supposed to graduate this year, so I don't know if she will have that graduation celebration, which is very sad because it stays in your memory for all your life because it's something big, right? You graduated from 12 years of school, like it's a big step in life, but we'll see. But she was lucky enough to get her graduation pictures, so at least she has pictures, so it's good. That's it for today. I was so happy to talk to all of you, and special welcome to all the new subscribers that I got on my channel. And if you're just a guest, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and see you next time. Bye.